Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
So I should be visible.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. and just not available for the tournament. So really looking forward to some exciting play from these young women. I think, again, going back to Steph BOXALL, represented Australia multiple times. 22 goals, 19 assists, and in 26 overall games. The first year won the gold for Australia at the tournament, World Championship, the inaugural tournament. So lots of reputation there for Team Australia. As the teams warm up, we've got a 5-minute warm-up. We're just coming down to the end. There'll be a brief opening ceremony. The official opening ceremonies are later on, are actually tomorrow at 1:15 before the start of the afternoon session. So we'll have two sessions, this afternoon session, followed by an evening session. Victoria, Queensland, 3:45. And then the DeFreeze tournament starts. South Australia and Queensland 5:30, WA and Victoria at 7:15. So that's today's schedule, and we'll look forward to some exciting hockey here. Normally, I would have a sidekick in the booth so I could fire off questions and give my voice a rest and get some just a break in the action and get some different ideas. And we'll hopefully we'll have that for the second game of today's broadcast. Originally, this tournament was called the Joan McCowan Tournament. The Joan McCowan Trophy was then, I think, handed over to the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. And had the pleasure of coaching Team WA back in 2000 when the likes of Melissa Bibby and Roulet and others were playing in the tournament. I'm not sure who the oldest player to ever play this tournament, but certainly my wife Sandy played last 2 years, and she's not young, but she's not old either. So I don't want to get myself into trouble on that one. Assist to me on the camera, Riley Langell, and on the control booth, Cassandra Edwards, who set up this session. We'll see how it goes. We're ready for the opening face-off. And the puck is dropped, and battle at center ice. ACT comes in. That's number 12 for ACT. One of the names I don't have on my list. I'll have to get that one straightened out. Puck goes behind the South Australia net, rimmed around the point, kept in at the blue line, fanned on the shot, dumped back in deep into the corner. South Australia, they fired out, tipped at the red line, D to D. And back into the zone it comes. Doesn't make it over the blue line. The puck is kept in. That's number 17 looking after it, Kenyon. She gets it to number 12, steps on the puck and trips on the puck. And back comes South Australia. Puck fired down into the ACT zone, behind the goal, up onto the boards. It's number 12. She can't get control of it. It goes back into the corner. Number 4, Lund, takes it to the front of the net, takes the shot right into the chest pad, and stopped for a whistle. Some fast-paced action here. 15-minute straight time periods for the first two, and I believe it's an ice cut, and then 15-minute stop time period for the third. Face-off to the goaltender's right. Off the face-off. South Australia get it back to the point. On the half-boards. Tries to get it to the front. Kept in. And out comes BOXALL. She goes down the left side. Just backhands it into the corner and chases after it. One person after the puck. Behind the goal. That's number 30, I think, in the corner, up against number 13. South Australia brings it behind the net. Tries to chip it up the boards and can't get it. Goes to the half boards. Trapped. And then brought back into the middle of the ice. That's number 4 with it. She chips it out to Sinclair, number 31. Can't get control of it. It gets fired back, and it goes into the South Australia bench for a stoppage. So in goal for South Australia, 47, Amelia Knott. And for ACT, I believe that's Ruby Abbott Monix, I believe. I'll have to get that clarified. I don't have those numbers on my sheet. On the faceoff, ACT, they just chop it back into the neutral zone. In pursuit, number 17 for ACT, and Dillian Kenyon. South Australia, they dump it up to the blue line, blocked. Kenyon, she picks it up, high slot. She cuts across the top of the slot, takes the shot right into the pads, and Knott makes the save. Face off to the left, won by South Australia. They take it behind the net, up onto the stick of again, I'm just learning these numbers and names, so I'll get to them as the game goes on. Back comes the ACT, that's number 2. She takes it in deep. Brunt represented Australia at the 2000 Youth Olympic Games in Lausanne, Switzerland. Puck goes back into the zone behind the net. That's number 8 with it. She dumps it around the boards. South Australia, they intercept it. Back to the blue line. That's the alternate captain. Takes the shot, scores! That's number 2 for South Australia. With the shot from the blue line and just fired at the net and went through the 5-hole. We're just waiting for the replay in the corner. We'll get the replays. We're just sort of getting some technical issues ironed out here. Off the draw. South Australia get control of it again. Wigan, she takes it back into her zone. Reverses on the half boards. Carries it out over the blue line. Gets it up to Cybulski. She puts it through the legs of number 8 for the ACT. Sargent fired behind the net, rimmed around, keeping it in at the blue line. That's number 24. Takes the shot. That's deflected wide. Behind the net. The two are number 8 and Sargent for ACT, and the puck squeaks underneath the gate at the scoreboard end. And that's unfortunately a somewhat common occurrence here at CIA. That puck will disappear just where the door just isn't quite low enough, or the ice isn't quite thick enough, and it'll stop the play. So off the face-off, ACT bring it out, but intercepted. Cybulski, she goes in over the blue line, makes a nice move, flips it high over the shoulder for the goal on number 1 for ACT. I'm assuming that's Ruby Abbott Monix. So off the beautiful goal by Cybulski. Intercepted. Cybulski, she goes in over the blue line, I'll get these makes names a nice right as move, I go forward. Flips it high. Two-0 South Australia. Less than 4 minutes gone in this first period, and back they come looking for more. Picked off. That's number 12 with it for ACT. In over the blue line, takes it to the net. Just can't get it to go. Good stick by the defense as they prevented her from getting a shot on goal. As the puck goes behind the net, I'm just getting some names and numbers here from our control staff. Number 12 for ACT. That's, I believe number 12 is Lucy York. I don't have her on my list. I do, but no number. There we go. Puck back into the neutral zone, just dumped in as South Australia will go for a change. ACT just finished the change. They're breaking out the left side. In comes number 20 for ACT. That's King. Goes behind the net. Puck battle in behind the net. 3 South Australia players as they get it out into the slot. Number 10 puts it off the boards, picks it up herself. Down the right side, back on D is number 8, Harris. She chips it away. Back into the corner, that's King. Back onto the half boards. Off the skate, 97. Takes it behind the goal. That's Wigand to the front of the net. Oh, and that just slipped wide as there was a big screen in front. The battle in the corner. Good stick by number 20 for ACT, King. Back into the zone comes number 2 for South Australia. That's Lund. So I'm just trying to get some numbers recorded. In over the blue line, that's number 4 for South Australia, Jamie Lund. The puck comes out just over the blue line, chipped back into the zone, and it'll be a delayed offside. And that should give me enough time to get my numbers sorted here. Face off just outside the blue line. Won by South Australia. Back in over the line as puck just chipped off the stick. Picked up on the boards by BOXALL. She gets it up to her teammate. That's number 7. Dumps it in deep behind the net. Picked up by South Australia. They can't get it out. Number 13 for ACT, Mutton. She tries to get it back in, goes off the shin pads, and back comes South Australia. Picked up behind the, in the corner, number 77 for ACT, Kenyon. Off the skates, number 7, Ava Pickering. Back into the South Australia zone. They break down the left side. Number 89, that's Go. She takes it in behind the goal. Good stick by the ACT defense. Back to the front of the net. Number 45, she takes a weak shot and goes wide. Deflected off the stick of number 7, Pickering. Back to the blue line. Picked up and intercepted. And back comes BOXALL. Makes the move, takes the shot. It just goes wide, bounces behind the goal. Trying to get it to the front. They can't. To the blue line, and it comes out. And ACT will reset and just dump it into the zone. And that'll go for icing. Face-off will come back down and be to the right of goaltender Abbott Monix. Into the corner, number 91, Newbond. She loses control of it. ACT pick it up, get it to the front of the net. Off the stick. That's number 12 back for it. York picks it up, dumps it in behind to the front of the net. Good stick by the goaltender. She stuck out the paddle. Kept that one from getting to the front of the net. And back comes South Australia. Hard on the back check is York. Chips it out to the blue line. Good stick again by number 43 for South Australia, Kershaw, and that'll go down for icing. And I think I've got all my numbers sorted now. Apologies for that. Face off to the left of puck gets to the front of the net to the slot, brought out by York. She gets the puck knocked off her stick. In on the forecheck, cutting hard to the net, gets it to the front. Can't get it to go. Good stick by the defense. To the blue line, onto the half boards. Puck battle in the corner. That's York after it. 3 ACT players, 2 South Australia players. As they're trying to get it out. Down goes one of the South Australia players. And ACT will go for a change. And that'll go for icing. Back into the zone. To the left of Abbott Monix. Face-off won by South Australia. Back to the blue line. Shot on net. Just bounced off the pads. It's number 20 at the blue line. She chips it out. That goes up to number 19. Horvath. She gets it into the corner. Back for it is number 89. Go. Back comes the captain for South Australia. Number 52 makes the move. Gets it to the net. And the paddle of the goaltender just knocks it down. And back comes ACT. That won't make it for icing. That's Horvath, I believe that is. Or Dowell. And back comes South Australia. Number 8. Harris. She takes it in deep. Behind the net. She's met up with one of the South Australia or ACT players and goes down. BOXALL. She rims it around. Into the corner. And out comes South Australia up to BOXALL. BOXALL down the wing. Makes the move. And she's going to go in and she draws a penalty as number 41 for South Australia. Or 49. Esther Kovacs just got her stick out and caught the legs of BOXALL as she was crossing the blue line 2-on-1. Seeing some of the replays of the goals. That one by number 4, Lund. The first goal, assisted by Green and Newbound. That was at 11:31. The second goal by Cybulski, and somebody's going to have to send me a message and correct me on the pronunciation on that. But Cybulski from Go at 10:39, just 58 seconds or 52 seconds later. So on this power play, 49 in the box for South Australia. It's icing, or sorry, offside at the blue line. Pushed ahead by ACT, but they can't catch up to it, and it just gets fired down the ice. Back for it, number 77 is Kenyon. She rims it around. As they try and break out, and they just dump it into the neutral zone. Back for it is number 52, Aris. Here comes ACT. Can't get it to go over the blue line. Off the skate, kicked ahead. And number 24 back for it is Holub. Gets it to the blue line. Nice. BOXALL just can't get it to go past Cybulski. And it gets it in deep. That's number 2. Takes the shot. Deflection up over the net. And back comes BOXALL. She outlets to number... That's number 2. For ACT. Front. BOXALL. She can't get it deep. Back come the South Australia. There's a breakaway. In on goal, number 89. Alexia Go, and she buries it for the short-handed tally as ACT just lost control of that puck back at the blue line. Number 77 is Kenyon. She goes in and make it 3-0 for as they try and break South Australia. Face off back at center ice. 42 seconds to go in this power play for ACT. They're having difficulties making any headway and putting any pressure on. They dump it in deep, and after it is number 7 for ACT, Pickering. She takes it in behind the net, gets it back to the blue line. On the half boards. That's number 13 in there with it, Mutton. Back to the blue line to number 7. Tries to go D to D, almost picked off by number 43. Gets a shot away on goal. And it just bounces off the stick out over the blue line. And that'll do it for the power play. As Harris steps back on the ice. Intercepted, picked off, back comes ACT as they pick off the puck of the blue line. Pass across to the front of the net. Can't get their stick on it. Back to the blue line. Number 12 with it, takes the shot. It's loose for a second. And goaltender Knott ties that one up for a stoppage. Face-off win by ACT. That's York. She dumps it back in deep. Or Brunt, I should say. Good work by York. Takes the shot off the blocker of Knott. Back to the blue line. Back to the front of the net it goes. That's number 4 with it, Lunn. She chips it up, but not out. And it comes back and gets fired out by number 52 for the South Australia team. Back in deep it goes. That's number 17 for ACT in pursuit. Puck comes back into the neutral zone. In pursuit is number 20 for South Australia. Chipped out over the boards. Can't get it to her teammate. That's number 17 trying to get it, and that'll do it for the period. And that snuck up on me, folks. Didn't even realize there was less than a minute to go. So after the first period of this 2025 Stephanie BOXALL tournament, South Australia has dominated on the scoreboard, shot 7-3 in favor of South Australia, and 1 penalty to South Australia. So statistically, South Australia has essentially all the stats. That last goal, Harris from Knott, shorthanded at 2:10. And the penalty to Kovacs from South Australia for tripping, 2 minutes. Just getting some clarification from the officials as to the scoring on those goals. We might have an update on it. The live esports desk seems to be updating. So, again, a fairly exciting first period. Lots of end-to-end action. Some good shots on net. Some good traffic in front. Both teams have had opportunities. I would say South Australia had a slight advantage that period in play. Some real skill moves by trying to think. Tori Cebulski. Up on forward, she's had some good moves, and Jamie Lunn. Amelia Knott has been solid in goal, smothering the puck, any puck, and not letting rebounds out. And Abbott Munnocks, the 3 goals actually really didn't have a chance. One was high over the shoulder, one was through a screen from the blue line, and then the third one, the short-handed breakaway that Harris made a really good move on. So we only have a short break between the first and the second. We'll have an ice cut between the second and the third. There we go, off the opening faceoff. This second period starts off with ACT on attack, hoping to get one to make this one a bit closer. Off the skates to the front of the net. York, she fires it behind the goal to and Dylan Kenyon. Back to the front of the net. Picked up by the assistant captain for South Australia. That's number 2. She gets a lead pass just off the stick of number 20, Amber Bedell, and she can't catch up to it. It gets fired back down the ice. And number 24 for South Australia, Ilana Halub, just beat out the ACT attacker for the icing. And the puck will come back into the ACT zone for a face-off to the left of Ruby Abbott Monix. Won by ACT. That's number 77 with it. She makes a move up onto the half boards. Picks it up again. It looks like we're going to have another penalty, a hooking call. 17 for ACT. And Dylan Kenyon, she'll go to the box for 2 or less for tripping, or hooking, excuse me. And that penalty, 14:02 to go in the second period. Face-off will come back to the right of the goaltender. South Australia win the draw. Hard shot. That hits somebody high in front. Kept in at the blue line by number 24, Huluk. South Australia control the play, moving around. Oh, it just goes off the heel of the stick of number 20. Back into the corner. Number 77, good play with the stick. Gets it to the blue line, right up the middle though. Off the skates on the shot, and that time she gets it off the boards and down the ice. I think that's what she wanted to do the first time. A minute 20 to go in the period as ACT gets a change. Back into the zone, the puck comes. That's number 52, Aris. It's back to the blue line, over to number 24. She takes the wrist shot. Oh, and that just gets deflected wide. That can back out the opposite side of the net. Another shot to the front of the net. Good block by BOXALL. Off the shin pad. South Australia maintained control. Back to the blue line. That's number 24 with it. Gets it into the zone. And down the ice it goes. 45 seconds to go. As ACT get another change. Back come South Australia. Gets it forward. That's number 89 with it. Can't get control. Into the zone. Ulub, she dumps it deep and goes for a change. Backcourt, number 77, Island Kenyon. She gets it down into the South Australia zone. Back they come. They'll have time for one more rush. And it looks like we're going to have another call to South Australia this time for tripping with 10 seconds to go in the ACT penalty. Well, my mistake. Pickering gets 2 for tripping. So South Australia will have a brief 2-man advantage. So that's Pickering. Ava Pickering goes for tripping at 12-12 of the second period. 3-0 the score. Face off to the right of Abbott Monix. Won again by South Australia. I just have to pay attention because I'm also doubling as the penalty box attendant. I got to make sure I don't screw anybody up. Back into the South Australia or ACT zone. Again, South Australia controlling the play. Hard, low shot. Can't control it. Abbott Monarchs can't control it. And ACT get it down into the South Australia zone in pursuit. Good switchback by the ACT forechecker. Behind the net. Back into the corner. This is killing off precious seconds of this power play. As ACT putting the pressure on. Back comes South Australia. That's number 2 with it. Into the zone. Knocked into the corner. Number 77 gets it to the front of the net. That bounces off the toe of Abbott Monarchs, and she had to be sharp on that one. 55 seconds to go in this power play. Pullup, she gets it over the blue line. That puts herself offside on the delay. Tries not to touch it, but ends up being called, and that'll come for a face-off just outside the blue line. Face-off win. Fire down the ice. That'll kill off another 10 or 15 seconds of this power play. Back for it. South Australia up onto the half boards. Chipped out. That's number 49 with it. She gets it out to her teammate. Over the blue line. And picked off. Back down the ice it goes. 22 seconds to go in the power play. Fired up off the boards. And that's going to go all the way down the ice. Is it going to make it for icing? No icing in the play. And back comes ACT. Nice moves at the blue line. She gets it in deep. That's York. And out comes Pickering. No damage done as South Australia tries to bring it back out. Chips it out to the blue line. Picked off. Back comes number 12, York. She just dumps it in deep. In on the forecheck, number 7 tries to fire to the front. Pickering. That comes back to center ice, chipped into the zone. Trying to pick tries for the long stretch pass. That misses everybody. Number 4 was looking for that long stretch pass. Bounced over her stick, and that'll go down for icing. Face-off will come back to the right of Knott. Ooh, deflected to the front of the net. Just wide off the South Australia player's stick. Back into behind the net it goes. That's York, I believe it is. She loses it, and out comes South Australia to the blue line and out. Just fired back in. That's Dowell. South Australia trying to get it out. Can't, and now it does. Out comes number 4 with it. In on goal, takes the shot off the pad of the defenseman, number 77, Island Canyon. As the ACT player takes a bit of a high shot. Back comes 52 for South Australia. Aris. In behind the goal, up onto the half boards. Fired to the front of the net, off a pad, to the blue line, to the front. Oh, good blocker, pad save by Abbott Monarchs. Gets it to the blue line. And after it, 2 ACT players, BOXALL and number 7, Pickering. That gets out onto the stick of the South Australia player. She dumps it out into the zone, off a skate. Back into the ACT zone. Backhand out to the blue line. That's Pickering. Dumped back in by Aris. And now down the ice as number 70, Avery Pickering, just missed that puck, and it'll go back into the ACT zone for icing. Straight under the boards. Another puck disappeared under the boards. That's the Zamboni entrance, and sometimes that just happens. False start. Will re-go again. That'll go to the right of Abbott Monix. Number 20, Bedell, up against number 11, BOXALL. Won by South Australia. Oh, it falls down at the blue line. Bit of a delay. Back comes ACT. They can't get it deep. Good play. Dump back in deep. Delayed offside, they're clear. You can hear the linesman clearly make the call. Onto the half boards, that's BOXALL. She tries to chip it out. Can't get it out. In onto the half boards. Tries to get it to the front of the net. That's number 10, I believe, Green. And that gets fired back to the blue line, but that was fired out by the South Australia players. They made a pass back to the blue line. And back comes South Australia. They dump it in, chipped off the boards. Behind the goal. Backhand chip up to the half boards. Out of the zone. That goes up to number 12, York. Fires it in wide. Brunt takes it back to the front of the net. Oh, a scramble in front. And Knott had to be sharp on that one as the puck bounced around in front of the net for a stoppage. Face-off will come to Knott's left. Both teams make changes. Brunt up against number 43, I believe that is, Kershaw. Puck comes out of the zone. Kenyon dumps it in on the delay. Picked up behind the net by Go. She can't get it out of the zone. Gets blocked by the ACT players. And back comes the captain for South Australia. That's number 52, Natalie Aris. York, she gets it out to the blue line. Back comes number 7, Pickering, I believe that is. Scores! As in on the rebound, number 2, Lucy York, buries it after number 7, Ava Pickering, carried it over the blue line. So that goal, Ava Pickering is awarded to, assisted by number 2, Ebony Brunt. I thought it was the other way around myself, but that's why they pay the refs the big bucks. 3-1 the score, 6:04 to go in this second period. As ACT make it interesting. Back comes South Australia on attack. Number 4 in the corner, that's Lund. Gets it back to the blue line. Number 52 takes the hard shot wide. Just the quick wrist shot, trying to beat the ACT goaltender. Back comes ACT, 2-on-1. Number 17 to the front of the net. Oh, and that bounces up into the pads of Knott. Has to be very sharp on that play. That'll go for a stoppage. A face-off to the right of the goaltender, Amelia Knott. Shout out to Dad Christian. Hope you're watching from home. I think I got that right. Apologies if not. Off the draw, ACT get control of it. Weak shot that gets blocked by number 97, Wagand. She carries it around, dumps it back behind the net, ACT does. Putting some pressure on. They've got 2-3 forwards in deep. And back comes South Australia. Knocked off her stick. Back into the zone. That's number 20 after it. Can't catch up to it. Chipped out to the blue line and out. And back comes Sobolewski. She goes down the right side. Spins around again. Fires it towards the front of the net. You can't get it to go. And back comes ACT on the break. If she can catch it, that's number 29, I think that is. She can't catch up to it. 28. Back to the blue line. That's Stokes. Dumps it into the corner. Behind the goal. That's number 20, Nikita King. She makes a pass back to the blue line. That comes out. That just kept in at the blue line. Stokes wasn't sure. Puck gets fired on the ice. That doesn't go for icing. Backcourt is number 8, Madison Sargent. She puts a pass off the boards right onto the stick of number 2 for South Australia. Oh, and a sharp angle shot from the corner makes its way past Abbott Monix. And that was just an unfortunate bounce out of the corner. Looked like it might have bounced off her skate into the net. Although I didn't have a good look at it. Still working out getting some replays for you, but we will work on that technically. And yet Cassandra's giving me the thumbs up. You guys saw that replay. Unfortunately, I have to step back and look at the screen to see it. 4-1 the score, 4:11 to go in the period. South Australia get that one back, get it to the front of the net. Oh, battle for it. And Abbott Monix gets the big pad down on that one for a stoppage. As South Australia back looking for more. That was number 10 in there after it, Kate Green, along with number 2. Back comes ACT. Looks like we've got a delayed penalty call. That'll go to South Australia. 2 minutes for a slash on number 2 for South Australia. And that's Jamie Lunn. Just getting my numbers right. ACT gets the draw back to the point. Shot on net, gets deflected wide. Gets to the front of the net. BOXALL just missed it. Number 17, she gets it into the corner. Back to the blue line. Back onto the near half boards to number 12, to the front of the net. Fired to the front. Oh, and BOXALL just can't get her stick on that to wrap it around. And back comes South Australia. ACT over the blue line, over the red. That's Brunt. Nice move, a good skate by the South Australia defender. BOXALL, she gets it to the front of the net to Brunt. Just misses it to the front of the net again. That's number 12 with it, York. And down the ice it goes. ACT. 52 seconds to go on this power play over the blue line. That's Pickering. On to the half boards. Battle in front as 52 and 43 are battling for possession or position. Back into the corner. That's BOXALL. Gets it to the front of the net. Score! Oh, just off the post. Very, very near miss there as BOXALL got it to the front of the net and just missed on the rebound and then not smothers that one. Face-off win by South Australia. 5 seconds to go in this power play as they come back on attack. Back for Pickering. She gets it up to the blue line. That'll go for icing as it missed Mutton on the breakout. That'll come back into the ACT zone as South Australia successfully killed off that penalty. Face-off win by ACT as they get it to the blue line, but not out. Behind the net. Up onto the half boards to the blue line. Chipped out into the neutral zone. Picked up by number 43. Intercepted, and back comes South Australia. 2-on-1. That's Pickering. Takes the shot on net. Stick save by Knott. The rebound comes out, and that gets fired back down the ice. And that'll go for icing with 1:16 to go in the second period. ACT has picked up the pace in this second period, evening up the shots on goal, 11 all, and scoring a goal to make the score 4-1 now for South Australia. Won by ACT, back to the blue line. That's number 17 with it in the corner, Kenyon. 4 players battling for it in the corner. He's back onto the half boards, to the front of the net. Oh, and just missed by Brunt. And back count down the ice comes South Australia. Picked up by number 16 for ACT. Out they come down the ice. That's number 17. She leaves it for her teammate over the blue line. That's York. Gets it to the back to the point. Takes the shot, deflected to the front of the net. Scores on the rebound. The assistant captain, Ebony Brunt, right on the doorstep to bury the rebound and make it 4-2 with 33 seconds to go in the period. So that goal by number 2, Ebony Brunt, assisted by number 12, Lucy York, and number 17, and Dillian Kenyon, with 33 seconds to go in this second period. Back come ACT on the attack. Brunt over the blue line again. She comes in 2-on-2, gets it across to York. York takes the backhand across to Brunt. She can't pick it up. 24 for South Australia. She spins around. That's Hulub to the blue line. Back comes number 2, Lund. She fires it off the skate of the ACT player. 4 seconds to go behind the net and into the corner, and that'll do it for this second period. An exciting period of action. 4-2 the score. But ACT out shooting the South Australia team to make the shots on goal total 13-11 for the game so far. I'll get you the statistics and then we'll take a bit of a break and we'll come back for the third period. Just let me update the stats here. You guys can do this online on Esports Desk. Everything's up to date and live. That second period, Pickering from Brunt to make the score 3-1 for South Australia. And then Lund from Hulub to make it 4-1 South Australia. And then Brunt from York and Kenyon with 33 seconds to go to make the score 4-2. Shots on goal that period, 10-4 in favor of ACT for a 2-period total of 13-11. So with that, this is Chris Langell. We'll take a bit of a break while they do the ice cut, and we'll be back for the start of the third period. Welcome back to Cockburn Ice Arena, folks. Chris Lange will bring you the play-by-play of this first game of the 2025 Stephanie BOXALL Women's National Championship between ACT and South Australia. 4-2 the score at the end of the second as we get set for a 15-minute stop time third period. Obviously, as ACT will be looking to score a quick goal and close that gap. And to give themselves a chance, South Australia has been looking pretty strong, but ACT had a very good second period, out shooting the South Australia team 10-4. 0 for 2 on the power play so far, as is South Australia. Although South Australia has scored a shorthanded goal for the opening face-off here in the third period. Cebulski and Brunt will face off against one another as we wait for the goaltenders to be ready. And we're off. Winning the draw, that's Cebulski. She brings it over the blue line. Almost breaks through. Good defensive play. She can't split the D. Puck bounces around behind the net. Fired back off the boards, down the ice. Deflection, says the linesman, so no icing. Back for it is number 24, Holub. She reverses. Picked up by Brunt. She can't get it to go to the front of the net. She goes down. Pickering into Brunt. Picked up by Holub. She carries it up the boards. Gets it out to the blue line, into the neutral zone. Intercepted by number 16, and back comes York. She can't get control of it. Into the neutral zone. York, she picks it up and just dumps it in deep. And we'll go for a change. Holub, she picks it up on the half boards, tries to chip it out, can't get it out. Back into the zone, that's Mutton. As the ACT and South Australia teams are going for changes. Picked up behind the net by number 77. She reverses to the blue line. Kept in by number 8 for ACT Sargent. Behind the goal. Cebulski, she brings it over the red line, dumps it into the zone and goes for a change. Very smooth skating attacker, Cebulski. Looked very effective. Dumped back into the zone. That's number 45. Again, dumped in the zone. Oh, that bounces. And Monix or Abbott had to be very careful on that one. BOXALL, she picks it up at the blue line, over to the blue line, reverses, gets it to herself on the half boards, tries to get it to the front of the net, off a skate, and back comes South Australia. That's number 31, Sinclair. Drops it back to 52, Ayers. And she fires it behind the net, picked up by BOXALL in the corner. She chips it out to the blue line and past number 49, Kovacs, and it goes down the ice. South Australia captain over the blue line into the ACT zone, behind the net, tries a quick backhand to the front, can't get it to go. And back comes ACT, breaking out over the blue line. That's number 2, Brunt. She has it knocked off her stick. That's fired back down into the South Australia or ACT zone, and that'll go for icing. As Brunt just couldn't get it past the stick check of the South Australia defender. Good stick on the play. Face off to the right of Knott. Won by ACT, back to the blue line. Oh, to the front of the net. And that gets stopped by the stick of the South Australia defender. Back for it is 16. She gets it back to the blue line. That's York. Picks it up over the blue line with Brunt. Goes in on net wide. Cuts hard to the net. Scores! Number 12, Lucy York. Carries that puck in from center ice and beats the defender. Goes hard to the net and buries it 5-hole. To make it 4-3, that's the start of the period that ACT wanted. 12 from 15 That's Dowell and number 2, Ebony Brunt, with the assist at 11:53 of the third period. An early goal, just over 3 minutes in. Won by South Australia. Reverses Holub. She carries it over the blue line. Nice move as she puts it between the legs of the ACT defender. Spins around into the corner. Still has control of it. Knocked off her stick. Good stick by the ACT player. Then she loses it to number 20 for ACT, Bedell. To the front of the net. Oh, ripped on net. Good play. Oh, right into the glove is a nice save by Abbott Monix. Stops the play as the South Australian player, I believe that was number 20, Bedell, had a wide open net. Might have been Cebulski as well. Although the way she's been playing, I would have thought she would have buried that one. Great save by the goaltender. Face off to her left. Again, won by South Australia to the blue line. That's 97, gets it off a pad, picks it up herself. Takes it behind the net, looking for an outlet, tries to jam it in. Can't get it to go, it's loose. You can hear the referee yelling loose. She tried to jam the pad into the goal. Good wraparound play by number 97, Wiegand. As the South Australia forwards will make a change. Green, Lund, and Bedell coming onto the ice. Won by ACT. D to D behind the net to Pickering, or to number 7 for ACT, Pickering. She just chips it into the neutral zone. Back into the South Australia zone it goes. Dowell, she gets it up, intercepted. BOXALL has it taken off her stick. Over the blue line, makes the move just outside the blue line. That's number 2, Lund. And puts her teammate offside. So the face-off will come outside the blue line on the far side of the ice from our camera position. .43 the score, 10:42 to go in this third period as ACT has closed the gap. And back they come. That's number 12, York. So across the blue line, tries to chip it past the defender. Gets her stick on it, and that gets ripped around the boards, and that'll go for icing. His back forward is number 8, Sargent. Face-off will come back into the South Australia zone. To the right of Knott. Again, won by ACT. Back to the blue line. Onto the net. Right into the glove of Knott. She freezes it. Good move. I believe that's number 20 that took that shot. No. Number 12, York. Back into the corner. Picked up on the half boards. Brunt, she tries to swing it to the front of the net. South Australia, they rim it around. Picked off by number... again, I can't quite make out that number. Battle in the corner. York after it. She's battling with number 52, Harris. Gets it to the front of the net. Oh, and a good save. Or that might have gone off the back of the diving South Australia captain. To the blue line. That's number 8. She can't keep it in. And out comes So. They do keep it in as there's a battle at the blue line. York fires it off the boards and falls down. Ice is slippery, as they say, as my colleague Eric Brook loves to say. Back into the South Australia zone. That's 52 with it. Swings back behind her goal. Up onto the half boards. BOXALL, she's putting pressure on. She knocks it off the stick, and back comes Eris. Breaking down the right-hand side, 2-on-2. Tries to dump it back to the high slot, intercepted. And back comes number 16. She gets it to the blue line. Good defensive play coming off the bench from the South Australia player. Two players collide in front of the net and go down. Number 20, she can't get it to go. It's number 16 with it now. Dowell, she gets it up onto the half boards, kept in at the blue line by Holop. She takes the shot. Oh, looking for the deflection by number 20, Bedell. She gets her stick on it, but it goes wide. Picked up again. Flip on the backhand to the blue line, but not out. In onto the half board, takes a shot wide. That was number 18, I believe. The puck comes back behind the net. BOXALL. She just chips it out to the blue line. Oh, and a big hit at the blue line as Wagan collides with Mutton, and Mutton goes down. And we'll have a 2-minute penalty for interference as Mutton hadn't touched the puck. And referee calls 2 minutes for interference with 7:58 to go in the third period. 4-3 the score for South Australia. And ACT will go on the power play. They've looked very strong this last 2 periods. Again, a win off the face-off, back to the blue line to Brunt. Brunt winds up, takes the wrist shot right into the chest of Knott. She freezes it for a stoppage. A decent shot, but probably could have waited for a second or two longer to get some traffic in front. And won by BOXALL, back to Brunt. She gets it one-timer off the bouncing puck, and that goes into the pads and into the corner. It gets fired back down the ice. Number 77 after it. She gets it to York. York over to Kenyon. Kenyon, she tips it back, and in comes York down the right side. Cuts back to the middle. Can't get it to stay in. That's number 77. A good play blocking that pass. And that gets knocked off of the captain for ACT, BOXALL, and into the flags. So that'll go for a stoppage. As the puck was fired from inside the zone, the face-off will come back into the South Australia zone to the left of Knott. I've seen it hit the rafters many times. I don't think I've seen it hit the flags too many times for a stoppage. Face-off to Knott's left. Won by BOXALL, straight back and out of the zone. As Brunt couldn't get it, she reverses. Nice play there, and she chips it out of the zone. BOXALL, she can't get it. And into the zone, 49 carries the puck. That's Kovacs, and that'll be offside as her teammate was trapped in the zone. 1:07 to go in the power play for ACT. 7:05 to go in the period. As they'll get a change in. South Australia win that draw. Pickering in pursuit. She can't get it. That's number 2 with it. She goes down. And picked off a strong play behind the net by Pickering, I think that is. No, that's number 19 for South Australia, or for ACT. Back into the zone. That's number 24 with it. She carries it into the zone. Chip back. And South Australia, they've drawn another penalty as number 2, Lund, takes a two-hander at the skates of the ACT player. So she'll go for 2 or less, and that'll put ACT on a 5-on-3 power play for 30 seconds. Face-off will come back into the South Australia zone to the right of Knott. The number 1 power play unit back out there. York, BOXALL, Brunt, number 17, Kenyon, and back to the blue line. It's number 77. The other Kenyon, 2 Kenyons, Endelian and Elliott. That gets to the front of the net, and Knott has to be sharp there. She smothers it for a stoppage. 17 seconds to go in the first penalty to number 97, Wagand. Face-off will come to Knott's left. They'll have to be careful off the draw. Player coming out of the box. They do win the draw. Get it to the front of the net. That's Brunt. Takes the shot. Scores! What a goal! As Emily Brunt buries it, bar down, top shelf where Grandma keeps the peanut butter. And you can see on the replay, she just cut across the high slot and ripped it, bar down. So that's Ebony Brunt from 17 and 11. That's Kenyon and Dillian and Stephanie Boxall to tie it all up. And that was with time left on the first power play, or the first penalty. So the other penalty is still in play, 1 minute and 40 to go in that one. First one will drop off the clock automatically. Won by South Australia. They get into the zone. They want to get that one back, as ACT have come back here and looking very strong. Newbound. She gets it across D to D. That's York. She picks it up in on 97. Picked off by the ACT player. Tries the high shot and can't get it to go, as Knott was sharp on that one. Got her shoulder on it. Dumped back into the zone. Boxall. She gets it up to York. York. She dumps it in deep. Back for it is number 97, Wagand. On the forecheck, Kenyon. She gets it on the half boards. Back to the blue line, kept in by her sister. Fired to the front of the net. A weak shot that gets knocked away by 97. She goes into the boards, battling against number 7, Pickering. Back to Boxall. Boxall makes the move. Gets past 2 South Australia players. Takes it behind the goal. Puts it back in the same side she came out of. Gets it back to the blue line, picks up the puck again, tries to get it through the legs, and then it gets fired down the road, down the ice, 20 seconds to go. A great play by Boxall. You can see why she's a veteran and a long-time stalwart of this ACT team. Very smart play. It's picked up by South Australia. They dump it in off the stick of Stokes behind the net. Ripped back up onto the boards to the blue line and out as the penalty is over. Lund back on the ice. Dumped it into the ACT zone off the stick of the defense. She goes behind the net. I believe that's Stokes. Fires it up onto the boards to the blue line. Kept in by Kovacs. And back comes ACT. That's number 13. Gets it across the blue line. Can't catch up to it. And number 24, Hulab, picks it up to the blue line. Dumped into the zone. And that'll go for a tripping penalty as number 20, Amber Bedell, is taken down. And ACT will go for 2 or less. With 3:47 to go in the third period. Game all tied at 4. So Angela Stokes in the box for 2 or less on that incidental trip as the South Australia player just clipped her legs and went down. And timeout to South Australia as they'll look to set up a play and try and take the lead late in this third period on the power play. A very exciting action in this first game of the 2025 BOXALL tournament. High skill level and speed of these young women is on display. Lots of chances in front of the net, some great goaltending, some great saves. The score tied. ACT out shooting South Australia 20-12 so far. So into the zone, face-off will come to the right of Abbott Monarchs. Bedell in against Brunt on the draw. To the blue line. Onto the half boards. Number 24, she gets it across. That's number 2, Lund. She gets to the front of the net and smothered by the big pads of Abbott Monarchs. Face-off will come to her left. Won by ACT, back into the corner. Forecheck, chip to the front of the net. Oh, and just missed on that play. A bang-bang play in front. Controlled on the half boards. Back to Holub. She gets it across to Lund. Lund, she takes the shot to the front of the net, looking for a deflection. Very sharp angle outside the dots. Back to the blue line. Hard shot off the pad. Good save by the goaltender. Behind the goal it goes. Tries to get it to rim around the boards, but picked off. Holub, she gets to the front. Oh, and the goaltender, Abbott Monarchs, had to be sharp on that one with the pad. Fired again to the front of the net. 1:06 to go in this power play. Back to the blue line, off the skate to the front of the net, and Abbott Monarchs again with that glove cuts off the short side on the attempted goal to keep this score even, 4-4. 2:44 to go in the period. 57 seconds left in this power play. Face off to the left. Won by ACT. Can't get control of it. Rips up the boards to the blue line, but not out. Hard shot wide. Picked up behind the net by ACT. They fire it down the ice, and that'll kill some more time off this power play. Back for it is number 24, Holub. She comes out of the zone. Long stretch pass up to Lund. Or no, number 52, Aris. She dumps it into the corner. Lund picks it up, number 2. She takes it D to D. Hard shot. Nice stick by BOXALL. Good keep in again by number 24, Holub, as she blocks the clearing attempt by BOXALL. Back to the blue line. Again, picked off. Holub. She gets it across to Lund. 9 seconds to go in this period, or this penalty. 6 seconds. ACT battling. And go. My dual duties as commentator and penalty box attendant. And during that play, BOXALL took it into the zone, and she got taken down by the diving number 2 for South Australia, Jamie Lund. And she'll go to the box for 2 or less. Late in the third period. 1:40 to go. So ACT on the power play. Take a timeout to set things up. As they're looking very strong this last 2 periods where they've outshot South Australia. Taking advantage of some penalty time to make the score 4-all, outshooting South Australia 7-4 in this third period. And 1 for 4 on the power play. So we'll see how they do on this power play. Obviously, South Australia wants to kill it, to take this to extra time. And I believe the format is a 5-minute 3-on-3 followed by a shootout. I stand to be corrected on that. We'll see what happens at the end of the game. 1:40 to go. Face off to the right of Knott. Won by ACT. BOXALL, she's battling in behind the net for it. Comes loose to the front of the net. And out comes South Australia on the attack. Brunt back for it with Sabulski in pursuit. Brunt chips it off the board. Good stick by Sabulski. And out of the zone, BOXALL, she's going in all alone. Can she get it in net? Oh, great toe save by Knott. As BOXALL tried to slide it past her stick side, back to BOXALL. She gets it over to Brunt. Brunt takes the shot. Oh, what a deflection in front. That was York. Beautiful play by Brunt. As she gets it to the front of the net to York. Back to the front of the net. They're trying to get it out there. And down the ice, Cebulski, she fires it down. 44 seconds to go in the period. As ACT coming very close up to Boxall at center ice. She stops. Brunt picks up the loose puck. She goes in over the blue line. Picked up by the South Australia defender. That's number 24. Gets it back to the blue line, but not out. 24 seconds to go. South Australia desperately defending. Captain, she tried to put it through the legs and picked off by Boxall. Back to the half boards. Boxall has it. Looking for a shot. Takes the shot on goal. Blocked. 6 seconds to go. Back to Boxall. They're yelling to shoot. To the front of the net. Takes the shot right into the glove of Knott at the whistle. Or at the horn. And that'll do it for this exciting third period. As ACT ends the period on the power play. And just can't get that puck to go despite a lot of chances. Great goaltending by Amelia Knott. The refs are looking for a coin. Nobody carries change anymore. Nobody carries cash, so nobody's got a coin to flip to see who goes first on this. I think they're going straight to a shootout. No overtime. That might be reserved for the finals. Hey, guys. There we go. Somebody's found a coin. So the captains will come in. Lund and Boxall. Sorry. Eris and Boxall, excuse me, number 52. I've got to update my team list and numbers for this for the next game these two teams play. So they've got 5 shooters. So South Australia will shoot first. Oh, sorry, ACT is going to shoot first. So we'll see who they send out, whether it'll be Boxall, the veteran, or one of their young shooters. It looks like it will be Boxall taking the first shootout goal or shootout shot. Knott's prepared in the net. Boxall slowly over the blue line, down the right side, goes to the front of that, makes the move, scores, slides it in on the backhand, forehand, backhand move. ACT up 1-0 on this shootout. Number 4, Tori Cebulski, again, starts off slowly, right down the middle of the ice. She makes the move. Oh, and it goes off her stick, but she gets it. As she lost control of it, it went forward, not backwards. So that goal will count. And that ties this shootout 1-1. Now up is Ebony Brunt. Again, slowly over the blue line. Up the middle. Loses control of it and Knott gets her stick on that one. As she just lost control of it as she tried to make that move in front. Similar to what happened to Cebulski. She just couldn't get control of it after she lost it and it went ahead. Number 24 now, Holub. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize. I'm sure somebody will correct me during the tournament. She gets to the front of that, and she circles back and buries it top shelf. Very, very close to going backwards on that play when she cut back, which would have negated the goal. But in the opinion of the officials, watching closely, a good goal as South Australia goes up, and now Lucy York sets up at center, cuts to the right, cuts back to the left. Stick handling on goal, makes the move, backhand, forehand, brings it across, and she buries it to tie this shootout score at 2. And of course, South Australia still has a shot in this round. And who's going to go? That's number 89, Alexia Go. And again, she picks it up, goes right down the middle. Head up all the way, takes the shot, and stopped by goaltender Abbott Monix. So now out for number 77 for ACT, Ilan Kenyon. She comes down the right side, cuts back to the middle, takes a shot, tries to go 5-hole, and not closes the pads to block that one. 2-2. South Australia have a chance to go ahead in this 5-round shootout. So now, number 20, Amber Bedell, in on goal. She winds up, takes the shot, 5-hole. As goaltender Abbott Monix just can't close the pads. And that puts South Australia up 3-2. After 4 shooters. So number 17 now, and Dillian Kenyon, she has to score to keep this shootout going. Slowly off the left side, back to the middle. Almost loses control of it, takes a shot, and that's stopped by Knott. And that should do it for this shootout as South Australia wins it in the shootout after a fantastic comeback by this ACT squad to make the tie the score in the third with 2 goals, one by York from Dowell and Brunt, and one from Brunt on the power play from Kenyon and Boxall with 6:08 to go. That made it 4-all. And then 3 goals in the shootout. Boxall, Cebulski, I believe that was Hulub, and I didn't write down the names of all the shootouts, but it'll be on eSports Desk. You guys can look it up. And that'll do it for this game. 5-4, the final in a shootout for South Australia. And we'll be back for the next game in the BOXALL tournament. Victoria facing off against Queensland, and that starts at 4. And here we go. That's it for Chris, or for the team on the broadcast booth. This is Chris Langell. We'll see you on the other side. Good job.